Hi, welcome to Supper for a Song. I'm Mara Norris, and as you know, I'm in culinary school and we are now preparing for our certified culinarian exam. Guess what that means? A lot of chicken. Okay, so I wanted to show you how to debone a chicken, and I'm also going to show you a bunch of different ways to get some great cuts out of the chicken, and then we're going to make about 10 different meals. So this is my chicken challenge. I'm going to show you how many different meals you can just get out of one chicken. So before I get started, I have my chicken here, and what you really need to debone a chicken is a great boning knife. So I've got my good boning knife here, and if you've never used this, I know you've all got it in your knife block over there. You probably don't know what it's for. This is called a steel. Now it doesn't actually sharpen your knife, but what it does is it straightens the blade and it hones any little shards that you might have on the blade of your knife. So what you want to do is start with the hilt of the knife right up by the handle, and you want to start at the tip of your steel and then kind of lift your elbow up and go down. Alright, and then you want to get on the other side and do the same thing. Now don't worry about cutting yourself, because right here is a good guard and you're not going to cut yourself. You can go slowly at first if you want to. Go one side, then the other side. This is about 20 degrees to the steel. So just go down, 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 and then eventually you're going to get really good at it, and you can go nice and fast. And you really want to do this with all your knives before you start any cutting, because it's going to make it nice and sharp, and you're actually going to be less likely to cut yourself with a sharp knife. So I'm going to come show you. I'm going to get a nice close-up of our little girl here, and I'm going to show you how to debone the whole thing. So here's my lovely lady for the evening. And the first thing that you want to do is not at the end with the legs, but the end with the wings. Okay, we want to go into the hole, and we want to just make a little slit in the skin. Alright, there's the little slit. Now you're going to go in there just with your finger, and you're going to find the wishbone. Alright, and you can probably just get it out right with your finger, or you can make a little slit right up at the top, and then just run your finger down one side and then the other side, and you're just going to pop that wishbone right out. Okay, and I lost the other side, so I'm just going to go in there, make sure I got that side too, and that just frees you up to be able to get all the meat off of there. Now what I'm going to do is create what's called an airline breast. It's a very fancy presentation, and it's going to impress all your friends and your family. Now don't throw away any of these bones. We're saving everything, even the bones, so just get a bowl and make sure and put all of them in there, because we're going to make a nice stock out of all those bones. Alright, now we're going to flip her over. Okay, find the backbone right here. We're going to make a slit down the backbone. Alright. Then you see where the legs are, and you find there's these little things called the oysters. Okay, now I like to get in there, make a cross cut, and then you can just kind of dig those oysters out with your fingers. Alright, you can maybe use your knife to give you a little help, because that's actually one of the best, most tender parts of the chicken, and we really don't want to lose that. Alright, go into both sides, just make a little incision, see if you can clean that off with your finger. You're going to find that bone. Alright, and there we go. We see that there. Now, the next thing that you want to do is come in here, grab your leg, and you see where the leg meets up with the breast. Alright, we're just going to cut that. You want to try and leave as much skin on the breast as you possibly can. So go closer to the leg when you're cutting into it. Alright? And then we're going to bend the leg back toward the backbone, and you're going to hear just a little pop, and that's the leg bone separating from the backbone. And then you don't have to hack away at it. All you do, just take your knife, ta-da! There is your beautiful thigh and leg attached. And if you want, you can separate that, and I actually will show you how to do that. If you look right here where the leg meets the thigh, you see there's this little fat line. Now we're going to go closer to the leg, and all you do is just cut right down. See how easy that was? You didn't even have to cut through any bone. It goes right through the cartilage. It just goes right through just like butter. Alright, so I've got my leg, I've got my thigh, and I'm just going to go do that on the other side. And I'm just going to remind you how to do that. Pull that leg up. You see where the leg meets the breast. Just give it a little cut. Alright, and then we're going to bend her back toward the backbone. You see how that bone is exposed. And then just cut on down. There it was. Ta-da! There it is. And I may leave this one whole. We'll see. I'm sure my husband would like to have a nice leg and thigh at one point. So, now here is our nice breast still attached to the carcass. I know it's a lovely word, but that's really what it was called. Now, in between the two breasts is what is called this keel bone. Okay, you can just run your finger along it and feel that. Now, you want to cut down on either side of that keel bone. Alright, do we see that? Here's that keel bone, and then here is the breast meat. Now, you just want to follow the bone all the way down. Try and cut the meat away from the carcass. Alright, and that's going to leave you with a lovely intact breast. Alrighty, and we see that there's the one breast, and this is the actual carcass. Now I'm just going to go into the other side and do the same thing. Alright, I'm just going to turn her around, cut down, and just try and stay as close to the carcass as you can, and that way you are taking all the meat with you instead of leaving it on that carcass. Now none of this is going to go to waste anyway, because we're going to use every piece of this chicken. Alright, now we see our breasts are away from the carcass. Now the next thing that you want to do is, again, pull that chicken breast away from the carcass. And do you see we have the separation of the two bones here? Okay, once you've separated that, zoop, there it is. Our lovely chicken breast. And we have still the little wing attached, and I'm going to show you how to make that even fancier in just a minute. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side. Here's your breast, here's your carcass. Alright, try and grab that little wing on the bottom and just bend it backwards. Alright, and you're going to feel, you got to see where that one is. Up, there it is. Okay, here's the separation of the two bones. Go right in between. Ta-da! Here is our nice cleaned carcass, and guess what, that is going to be a great stock for about 10 different soups. Alright, throw that in your bowl. Don't waste that. Now, what we like to do in school, and that's what I'm going to do right now, is remove the tenderloin. Because when you cook the chicken, it's not going to cook as quickly as you want it to if the tenderloin is still in it. So just pick it up, do a little slice, and here's that nice little tenderloin. And that could be great for, you know, a stir fry, or it could be great for just some burritos, or fajitas would also be great. All right, do the same thing with the other one. We're working symmetrically here. All right, that's a quick little cook up that you could do. You could bread those, have a nice little pseudo fried chicken. Okay, so here we go. Here are nice breasts of chicken. So on the end is the little wing and the wing tip right here. So what I like to do is go into this, what they call the little drumette that is still attached to the chicken breast. All right, and you just cut all the way around the bone. Don't cut into the bone. Just cut all the way around it. And then you just take your knife and do a little cleaning. I like to leave the meat on the breast just because it's a nice little treat. Okay, and then here's our little drumette, here is our wing, and we're just going to bend it backwards, and ta-da! You see that nice little bone? It's all nice and clean. And then here is your lovely airline breast, and that's a very fancy presentation. It looks really, really nice on a plate. All right, and then you could just make some, you know, wings with the other ones, and if you don't want that wing tip, we'll probably get rid of that. You could just bend that backwards. We're always looking for those joints, and we're just going to cut right through that joint. Ta-da! Put that right in our stock pot. All right, here is the second one. Remember, we're working symmetrically. Now this one has already lost its wingtip, the poor little girl. So anyway, we're going to see where that little drumette is attached to the breast. We're going to find out where that bone is, cut all the way around it. All right, just give it a little scrape. So it's nice and clean, and then grab that wing, grab that drumette, bend it backwards. Ta-da! Isn't this fun how this works? If you've never worked with a whole chicken, don't be afraid of it. Get right in there. This is going to give you so much more, and it's actually really interesting to see how a chicken works, and you can do so many different things with it. Here are my lovely airline chicken breasts, and I'm going to show you how to cook one up and make a nice little pan sauce with it.